tell me to do so. Okay, so last week we learned about t-test, which is an analysis that is normally used to see or to compare two different means. Okay, these two different means can come from the same or a single subject compared to hypothesized mean, or it can come from, or they can come from a single subject with two different tests, or they may come from two different subjects. Okay, now this is an example of the two different subjects. We compare the academic stress between students from class A or school A and students from school B, or comparing the means between female and male students, and or comparing the means between the pre-test and post-test of the same group of students for paired sample t-test. The thing is, what if we do have three different schools? Okay, well, basically you can run t-test for school A and the first and the second school, another t-test for the second and the third school, and another t-test for the first and the third school. The thing is, kata ahli statistik itu, if you do this kind of measurement, misalnya mengukur panjang dari sekolah ini using a ruler. In the first measurement, you are likely to make very small mistake. Misalnya pergeseran pengukuran hanya sekitar 0, kesalahan pengukurannya 0,5 cm misalnya. Setengah senti, sedikit sekali karena rumah besar diukur gesernya setengah senti. And then you do the second measurement. Gesernya setengah senti lagi. The third measurement, gesernya 0,4 cm. Kira-kira kalau pengukurannya sampai sekitar 10 kali, pergeserannya kan bisa besar sekali, bisa sampai 5 cm. 5 centimeters. And it's a huge number. This also happens if you do 3 different t-tests here. You are likely to increase the standard error of measurement. And statisticians do not like it. So they think hard to find a way to solve this problem, to do 3 different t-tests in the same or in one run. So then they decided to create a new formula, and then they come up with a new type of analysis that is ANOVA. So basically ANOVA is an extension of t-tests in the way that it can handle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and blah 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 and so on, different t-tests in one run. Jadi hanya melakukan satu running tapi bisa mengcover beberapa t-tests. Okay, so this is the case for a scenario for ANOVA. This is another explanation for the t-tests. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Well, basically, when we are talking about t-test and ANOVA, we do still have some restriction. Okay, the restriction in t-test and ANOVA is that we can only have, oh, mana tulisan saya? We can only have a single dependent variable or variable. Terikatnya hanya bisa satu. Remember, in t-test, ANOVA, MANOVA, and uji beda lainnya, our dependent variables always come in the form of continuous variables. So remember, in our first meeting, we learned that there are some different types of, for different types of measurement or for different types of variables, data, nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Our dependent variables in uji beda, t-test ANOVA, MANOVA, and so on are always in the form of a ratio, continuous variable or scores. They are the same. And in ANOVA t-test, we can only have one dependent variable here. But we can have more than one independent variable. What are our independent variables? Our independent variables are always in the form of nominal or categorical data. Misalnya, gender, social status, school type, treatment, education program, and so on. They do belong to categorical or nominal data, and they do belong to independent variables in uji beda. Okay, our dependent variables again and again are always in the form of scores or continuous data, ratio, and we can only handle one what is it, dependent variable in one running time. I mean in one run. Jadi sekali lakukan ANOVA itu hanya boleh satu dependent variable. Karena bisa nanti dimasukkan banyak tapi increasing type 1 error. Tadi kesalahan pengukuran. Our independent variables always come in the form of categorical variables. Nah, terus sama dong Pak antara t-test and ANOVA. What makes it different is that in t-test we can only have in t-test we can only have t-test we can only have two groups, laki-laki perempuan, kelas A kelas B, pretest post-test, itu kan dua grup saja. But in ANOVA we can have more than three groups or more. Misalnya kelas ABC, sekolah ABC, kelas 1, 2, 3, social status tengah, menengah, atas, rendah, and so on. So this what makes t-test and ANOVA different. Okay, now I'll stop here, and if you have any questions, silakan. Kita baru lihat konsep dasarnya ANOVA. Yuk, if you have any questions. Belum ada? Okay. If you don't have any questions, sebentar. Oops, sorry. Oh, mana saya tadi? There you go. Okay, if you don't have any questions, we'll go ahead with this one. So basically, t-test and ANOVA are 11-12 kalau bahasanya anak zaman sekarang. What makes them different is that the number of groups that they can handle. Kalau t-test hanya 2 grup, ANOVA 3 grup atau lebih. Okay, and before we run t-test or ANOVA, it is suggested or we need to formulate our hypothesis first. Misalnya, di sini kita ingin melihat apakah terdapat perbedaan antara skor matematika dari sekolah A, sekolah B, and sekolah C. Then you need to formulate two different hypotheses. The first one is null hypothesis, and then the second one is alternative hypothesis. Where do these hypotheses come? Remember, when we are running or when we are doing quantitative studies, we need to in inferential statistics, we need to create or formulate our hypothesis. And where do these hypotheses come? These hypotheses are sari-sari dari teori yang kita masukkan dalam kajian pustaka. Let me give you an example. So, hold on. Theoretically, I found that ginkgo biloba is a good component which can help people to concentrate better. And then I found that cerebrofit has got ginkgo biloba in it. Okay, so I'm going to see kalau cerebrofit ada ginkgo bilobanya, berarti kalau saya gunakan, saya berikan ke mahasiswa saya di 3 kelas A, B, C untuk data analisis, they can concentrate better, when in turn and later on they can perform better. Itu asumsi saya. Nah, maka saya menggunakan teori ini tadi untuk membangun hipotesis saya. Okay. That there is, hold on, saya ketik saja. My null hypothesis is there is a significant difference in students' math or stats performance or stats scores there is a significant difference in student stat scores by their group. That group A might be different from group B, and sorry, this is the null hypothesis, then there is no significant difference in students stat scores by their groups. Yang dimaksud dengan null hypothesis itu kita meniadakan asumsi kita terlebih dahulu. Kita menetralkan asumsi kita. Kalau asumsi di awal tadi kan cerebrofit akan membuat beda. Kalau kelas A saya beri cerebrofit 1 dosis, kelas B 2 dosis, kelas C 3 dosis, then it is likely, I'm expecting different results by the end of the semester misalnya. Nah, tapi untuk null hypothesisnya kita berasumsi tidak ada perbedaan dulu. Nah, yang boleh ada perbedaan itu nanti di H1 or alternative hypothesis. There is a significant difference in students. There is a significant difference in student stat scores by their groups. Misalnya kalau mau ditambahkan after the different use of different dosage after the different treatment, gini saja biar gampang. Nah, different treatments-nya misalnya untuk kelas A, saya berikan cerebrofit 1 kali sehari. Kelas B 1 dosis, kelas B 2 dosis, kelas C 3 dosis misalnya. Nah, ini loh Mas dan Mbak yang biasanya sering digunakan untuk eksperimen itu loh. Mas dan Mbak tahu kenapa untuk dosis suntikan vaksin ketiga itu hanya setengah dosis. Ya salah satunya karena ngirit, ya salah duanya karena adanya eksperimen-eksperimen seperti ini. Bahwa kalau 1/4 dosis tidak efektif. 1 dosis terlalu boros. Nah, yang paling ngirit dan tepat itu adalah setengah dosis, for instance. So they already conducted quasi-experimental before. Quasi-experiments before. Okay, so this is the what is it? Hold on, where's? Oh, ini kok nggak bisa kecil ya? Hey, nggak bisa. Oh, there you go. Okay, so this is the idea of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. And later on, we are going to prove this hypothesis. Atau istilah lainnya, kita akan mencoba menolak null hypothesis. Maka nanti biasanya kesimpulannya that the null hypothesis is rejected, the alternative is what is it? The alternative hypothesis is accepted. That there is a significant difference in student stat scores by their groups after the different dosage of misalnya tadi cerebrofit. Misalnya, you can develop your own hypothesis later. Okay, but remember your hypothesis has got to be formulated, is an extraction from, is apa ya istilahnya, pensarian. You extract your theory and then you create your hypothesis, or you develop, formulate your hypothesis. Okay, later on, kalau dulu, sebentar saya tambahkan satu ini dulu saja ya. Saya tambahkan satu slide saja. Oke. Kalau kemarin waktu t-test itu kan, when we are doing t-test, when we do t-test, oke, itu kan langkahnya nanti setelah kita lihat sig levelnya, kita tahu that there is any difference or not. Nah, tapi kita belum tahu siapa yang lebih tinggi, siapa yang lebih rendah kan. How do we know who gets better score in a t-test? Dari mana kita tahunya? From the descriptive statistics, right? Descriptive statistics. Oh, skor cowok lebih tinggi dari cewek. Oh, skor kelas B lebih tinggi dari kelas A, for instance. We see it from the descriptive. The significance level only tells us that there is a significant difference, but we don't know yet mana yang lebih tinggi, mana yang lebih rendah. We find it from the descriptive statistics. But in ANOVA, we need to see an extra step. So later on, ANOVA will tell you bahwa ada perbedaan antara kelompok A, B, atau C. The question is, mana yang berbeda? Is it between A and B? Is it between A and C? Or is it between B and C? We don't know yet from ANOVA. ANOVA only tells us ada perbedaan antara A, B, C. But it doesn't tell us mana yang berbeda, AB, BC, or AC. How do we find it? So how do we find this information? We run t-test, or in ANOVA we call it post hoc. Nanti ketika kita running ANOVA, the post hoc will be produced if you ask for a post hoc test. Nah, the post hoc test is actually t-test. Post hoc test ini adalah beberapa kali t-test. T-test 1, t-test 2, t-test 3, and so on. Nah, maka nanti untuk bisa memaknai mana yang berbeda, is it between AB, AC, or ABC, you check it from the post hoc test. Tapi kita juga belum tahu antara AB ternyata berbeda, AC juga berbeda, but we don't know yet mana yang lebih tinggi, mana yang lebih rendah. How do we find that information? We find it from descriptive stats. Okay, so again and again, ANOVA is actually an extension of a t-test in the way that we are actually running several rounds of t-test in one run. Nah, one run-nya itu namanya ANOVA. Nanti memproduksi beberapa t-test di dalamnya, nanti akan melihat beberapa perbedaan di dalamnya. So this is what is meant by an extension of the t-test. Okay, now I'll stop here, and if you have any questions, Mas dan Mbak, silakan. Hold on, saya login ke. Yes, please. Sebentar Mbak, saya tak login ini dulu ya. Apa namanya? Satu rapat yang bisa saya sambi karena ini hanya penilaian, but I have got to be there. This is one of my projects. Hold on. Give me a second. Hey, it doesn't get through. Okay, the first one. And then hold on. The second one is, sorry, this online life is just crazy. I have 3 different meetings at the same time. So I'll just join this one and I'll leave the Zoom meeting. 981 04 96 5028. Oh my goodness, ini belum dihidupkan. Sebentar ya, oke. Okay. Oh my, it's not connected. Oh. Sebentar Mas dan Mbak. Okay. This one, and now Wi-Fi connected. And where was my Zoom meeting? Come on. Okay, ya. Yeah. Sambil nunggu itu, Mbak, did you have a question? Tadi siapa? Prativi, please. Yes, please. Yes, Mbak.
So it can be concluded that ANOVA is used for experimental design, and then to test it's used for customization research design.
Okay, so that, thank you, but that is not always the case, because normally in quasi experimental design, it really depends on the design that you are using. If you are using a single pre-test post-test design, then you can use paired sample t-test. Okay, normally we use ANOVA in experimental design. Hold on. In experimental design, where you simply want to see whether the scores in post-test are the same or different or not between 3 different groups. But if you do not consider what is it? You do not consider the score from your pretest. If you do consider the scores from pretest, then you are using ANCOVA, because your pretest scores will be the covariate for the post-test, pengontrol untuk post-testnya. Jadi dilihat kenaikan di skor post-test itu apakah karena benar treatment ataukah dari asalnya sana, dari oroknya sudah memang dia skornya bagus. Beda. That is ANCOVA. But if you do not consider the score from pre-test, then it's like saya hanya ingin melihat di bagian post-testnya saja, walaupun itu tidak terlalu tidak terlalu eksperimental sebenarnya. You simply want to see di akhir itu beda atau tidak. Let's say uji beda di akhir sajalah pokoknya. Then you are using ANOVA when you have 3 groups or more. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, no worries. Mas dan Mbak yang lain, if you do have any questions, silahkan.
Excuse me, sir, may I?
Yes, please, Mbak Idian.
Yeah, I want to ask about the way we see the SIG in TITES and in ANOVA. Apakah sama cara untuk melihatnya?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. That will be the next one. Yes, definitely. You can see it. I mean, we what is it? We interpret it exactly in the same way as when we do it in t-tests. But later we are going to check it. Okay. Yes.
Sir, may I?
Yes, Mbak Askardia, please.
If ANOVA just mentioned that there are a difference between the variable, but not mention what is the difference. So should we use t-test for knowing the difference, sir?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Mbak. So, when we run ANOVA, if you ask for the post hoc test later when we are using SPSS, I told you just now, if you click on or if you ask for a post hoc test, it is just the same as you are asking for the t-test as a subsequent step in after the ANOVA. Jadi follow up test, we call it uji lanjut. Okay, I do hope that answers your question, Bhaskar. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, now I'll just show you something first. Hold on. Saya ternyata device-nya tidak bisa connect. Tadi damn it. Back. No, there you go. Oh, kok academic phrase bank tuh. There you go. So the steps in running ANOVA, you can find it in statistics alert ANOVA. So you can find many different features in this website. The first one is an introduction on what ANOVA is, and then some assumptions in ANOVA. There are basically three similar assumptions in ANOVA, plus one different assumption from t-test, yaitu kalau di ANOVA selain test of normality, nah yang lainnya adalah test of homogeneity. Uji homogenitas. But don't worry, ANOVA will do it for you. You simply need to click the one of the buttons there. Okay, so once you need to check the normality of your data to see whether your data are normally distributed or not in your sample. And then the second one is test of homogeneity. What is the function of test of homogeneity? You can find the information somewhere here. Is it mentioned here? I cannot find it somewhere. Nggak mau apa namanya fitur find-nya nggak muncul. So basically it is about okay, there you go. homogeneity. Okay, see. You need to test the homogeneity of the variance. Okay, what does this homogeneity of variance means? Nanti dicek saja di Google. I'll show you this. Test of homogeneity. Oh. Somewhere. There you go. Okay. You get the idea? So whether two or more than two populations or groups or samples have got the same distribution. Maksudnya apa, Pak? Oke, remember. Kemarin uji normalitas itu kan hanya bisa melihat nanti data kita bersifat normal seperti ini atau tidak. Tapi uji homogenitas karena kita punya 3 kelompok, we need to see kalau yang A itu normalitasnya seperti ini, datanya terdistribusi seperti ini, yang B juga harus mirip seperti ini, yang C juga harus mirip seperti ini. Jangan sampai yang A geser ke kanan sedikit, yang B geser ke kiri sedikit, yang C geser pas di tengah-tengah. Nah, itu nanti tidak homogen. Okay, so this is the idea of test of homogeneity. Hey. Okay, now what about the procedure in running ANOVA? Nanti kita akan coba lihat bersama. Hold on, mana sih layar saya? Okay, I'll give you an example of the case. Hold on, somewhere. Okay. Okay. So here, this is an example of the ANOVA itself. So Bhumita is conducting a study on investigating whether her students' shyness, speaking, and writing is significantly different by their SES. But remember, because ANOVA can only take one dependent variable, then what you need to do is to test this one first, and then this one next, and then the last one is this one. You cannot put them in one run. Tidak boleh. Nanti bisanya masuknya kalau pakai yang MANOVA. Extension of ANOVA is a MANOVA. An extension of t-test is ANOVA, and an extension of ANOVA is MANOVA. So jangan terlalu bingung. Pokoknya ya di-extend bisa seperti itu terus. Itu karena para ahli statistik itu kurang kerjaan. Jadi kerjaan mereka adalah mengextend rumus salah satunya. Ya. Nah, so this is an example of the null hypothesis, that there is no significant difference in the student shyness by their SES. The alternative hypothesis is that there is a significant difference in the students' shyness by their SES group. Ini contoh kasusnya. Nah, kalau kita lihat, coba Mas dan Mbak, now kindly open the data. Did I send you a data on data meeting 2, Mas dan Mbak? Halo?
Ada Pak data.
Ada. Now kindly open your data meeting 2. Oke, sudah terbuka semua? Halo? Saya itu tidak bisa melihat videonya Mas dan
Yes,
Mbak
sir.
kalau saya hidupkan PowerPoint saya tidak bisa saya hidupkan screen saya, I cannot see your faces because kalau saya membuka kamera untuk melihat wajah Mas dan Mbak to see your responses sudah atau belum, itu layar saya tertutup oleh kamera, jadi saya tidak bisa lihat materi saya sendiri. That's why if I ask you kindly answer sudah atau belumnya ya. Kalau enggak saya bolak-balik bukanya ini nanti agak lama. There you go. Okay. Now, everyone is here, right? Now we are going to have a look at this exercise. Bumita is interested in conducting this study. Kita coba lihat yang pertama dulu, yang shyness. Yang ini kita tidak perlu lihat terlebih dahulu di awal ini. Whether the student shyness significantly differs by their SES. Null hypothesis dibuat dulu. Alternative hypothesis dibuat dulu. Okay, now how do we do that? We first, kalau menurut si statistic layer, you first go to analyze and then compare means. In t-test, we choose one of these types of t-test, but in ANOVA, we use one-way ANOVA. This is still univariate analysis. Kalau sudah seperti itu, make sure that you remember, your dependent variable is always in the form of scores atau score. Score itu logonya, labelnya nanti penggaris. Your factor is always nominal data. Maka masuknya nanti faktor di situ. Sudah? And don't forget to ask for post hoc. And also options. Because you want to ask for descriptive and test of homogenitas ini loh, uji homogenitas. Oke, nanti yang dicek ada dua. Sebentar. Nah, ini di sini dicek. Cetik gitu. Oke. Nah, kita lanjut sekarang. Kalau sudah, you continue. And then it will produce the output. Okay, now we do it in our SPSS. So first you go to analyze. And then compare means. And then one way ANOVA. Hey, there you go. Is everyone here now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, thank you. Great. I'll click this one. Remember, kita tadi mau melihat shyness dulu ya. Whether shyness is significantly different by the student's SES. Nah, maka for our dependent, for our dependent variable, we move it to the dependent list. And then we move our SES to the factor. Okay, kalau sudah seperti ini, we ask for post hoc. Post hoc is a series of t-tests. Nah, kita masukkan di sini, and then click continue. Right? Kalau sudah, we click on the options. You may want to ask for descriptive and homogeneity of a variance test. Kenapa kalau yang di statistik lab tadi tidak diklik ya Pak, homogeneity of variance test? Nah, itu ahli statistik itu ada yang percaya bahwa data harus normal dan homogen, but some other statisticians do not believe in such normality and homogeneity of our data. Maka tadi tidak diklik di situ. Uji normalitasnya juga tidak dilakukan. They assume that their data are already normally distributed and homogeneous in the variance. Jadi diasumsikan sudah. Kalau sampelnya banyak bisa seperti itu. Nah, kita ikuti yang standar-standar saja. Siapa tahu besok mau nulis artikel minimal bisa untuk nambah sekitar 200 kata kalau uji homogenitas sama uji normalitas. 100 kata untuk uji normalitas, 100 kata untuk uji homogenitas. And then we click on continue. Is everyone here now?
Ya,
Yes,
Bapak.
Yes. Okay, now we're going to click OK here. Right. You are going to have some different tables. The first one is descriptive table. The second one is uji homogenitas. And then the third one is ANOVA. The next one is uji lanjut atau post hoc tests, multiple comparisons test. Okay, the first thing that we need to check tadi istilahnya, okay, uji normalitasnya, pura-puranya data kita sudah normally distributed. Assumptionnya our data are normally distributed. And then the second one is uji homogenitas. Okay, apakah 3 kelompok yang saya miliki itu homogen? Nah, how do we see whether our data, the data in the 3 groups of more itu homogeneous in their variance? Kita lihat dari sini. How do we read this? It's just the same as test of normality. Sama seperti yang tes normalitas. Cara membacanya ya, memaknainya sama. So if our sig value here is more than 0.05, then we can say that our data in the 3 groups are homogeneous. The variance of the data in our 3 groups are homogeneous. And this is what we expect sebelum kita lihat hasil ANOVA-nya. Kita mengharapkan data kita terdistribusi homogen variance-nya. Okay, now have a look at this sig value here. Is it are our the variance in our 3 groups of data itu homogeneous or not? Kalau dilihat dari sini.
Mungkin, Pak.
Homogeneous ya. Karena ini more than 0.05. We expect for more than 0.05. Okay, any question about test of homogenitas? Kalau tidak homogen, ya tidak usah dipakai ujinya mungkin ya. Kalau kasih kata statistik lain tadi kan tidak dilakukan uji homogenitasnya dia. Apalagi kalau sampelnya, wah my sample is 200 Pak, ya silahkan. As long as you get some backup theories. Okay, right after that, we can have a look at the next thing, that is ANOVA table. Okay. Nah, our ANOVA table, tadi ada yang bertanya bagaimana cara membacanya, Pak? It's exactly the same as when you read the output of t-test. Have a look at the sig value. Kemarin aturannya seperti apa untuk t-test? Halo?
Jika signya kurang dari 0,05, dari signifikan, Pak.
Oke, ada perbedaan yang signifikan jika sig di sini less than 0.05. Kalau lebih dari 0,05, maka tidak ada perbedaan yang signifikan. Now have a look at this one. Is there any significant difference in the students' shyness scores by their SES group? Apakah ada
No,
perbedaan yang signifikan?
No, sir.
No.
Enggak, kok
No.
tahu? Kok tahu enggak ada?
More than.
It's more than
Okay, this one is
0.05.
more than 0.05. So there is no significant difference. Ya sudah, kita berhenti di situ. The ANOVA test shows that there is no significant difference in the student's shyness by their SES. Kita berhenti di situ. Laporannya bagaimana, Pak? Laporannya seperti ini. Kalau tidak ada ya, there is no significant difference between groups as determined by ANOVA, atau there was no significant difference in the students' shyness by their SES. F-nya berapa, ininya berapa, nanti bisa dilihat di contoh laporan. I already highlighted for you. Nah, kita akan coba lihat dulu data lain apakah ada yang berbeda ya, ada beda signifikan atau tidak ya. Now we are going to have a look at our next data. We are trying to see if the student speaking score significantly differ by their SAS. Now we do it again, analyze, and then compare means, and then one-way ANOVA. Shyness kita ganti dengan speaking. Ini karena tadi kita sudah running post-hoc dan option, dia sudah mengenali. Karena belum kita restart datanya. Kalau data sudah di restart, dia akan meminta ulang. And then klik OK. Nah, coba Mas dan Mbak lihat di sini. Is there, we assume that our data are homogeneous. Now have a look at the results of ANOVA. Is there any significant difference in the students' speaking scores by their SES?
No significant difference.
No, sir.
Now, how do you know that there is no significant difference?
More than.
Okay, this one is more than 0.05 ya, maka tidak ada perbedaan yang signifikan. Ya mungkin beda tapi tidak terlalu banyak. Bedanya antara 48, 53, 52 itu kan tipis-tipis bedanya katanya. Nah kita coba sekarang gantian ke yang data yang lain. Skor yang writing misalnya. We'll see it. Is there any significant difference, Mas, in the students' writing score by their SES?
No, sir.
No, tidak ada ya, karena lebih dari itu. Kita coba lihat di tempat yang lain ada enggak ya yang berbeda ya? Media. Kita coba lihat by media. Kalau by media itu ada berapa grup ya? Kalau nggak salah juga 3. We'll see it. Nah, 3 media juga. Is there any significant difference from this table?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
tidak ada ya. Kalau kok tidak ada dari tadi ya ternyata susah ya mendapatkan perbedaannya. Shyness. Is there any significant difference?
No.
No.
No, tidak ada juga. Nah, kita coba sekarang cari data yang lain saja. Let's have a look at, hold on, latihan ini isinya apa? Saya cek sebentar. Okay, now have a look at, ini jangan-jangan sama kayak yang tadi ya datanya. Oh sama, sebentar yang ini saja. Assignment 3. Sudah semua? Open your file assignment 3. Sudah? Have you opened this file? Yes, cool. Okay, if you already open this file, kita coba lihat sekarang. Is there any significant? Ini kan ada number, ada grouping. We do have 3 different groups. SES we do have 3 different groups. Gender hanya ada 2 grup. Nah, we are going to have a look at apakah ini itu berbeda secara signifikan atau tidak. Age ini juga kategorikal. Dari sini dibuat kategorikal seperti ini bisa. Nah, kita sekarang coba lihat terlebih dahulu Mas dan Mbak. Whether introduction to research is significantly different by the students SES or not. Ini ya. Tadi caranya gimana? We go to analyze and then what's next?
Compare means.
Compare means and then what's next?
One way ANOVA.
One-way ANOVA. Okay, we are going to see if the students' introduction to research is significantly different by their SES. By their SES. Maka introduction masuk ke mana?
Dependent list.
Dependent list, and then the student's SES goes
Factor.
to factor.
Hmm.
What's next?
Post hoc.
We ask for post hoc. Kita ambil yang Tuki salah satu saja ya. We click on continue. What's next?
Option.
Options. We choose descriptive, and ya homogenitasnya kita cek saja lah. Karena sebagian besar data itu homogen. Kalau tidak salah yang kita ambil ini. We click continue and then okay. Wait, there you go. Nah, can you see any significant difference in students' intro to research score by their SES?
No.
No significant difference. Susah sekali nyari contoh yang signifikan ya. Saya coba contohkan yang di sini. We are going to use data yang ini tapi untuk age categorical. Oh, ternyata enggak berbeda juga ya. Sebentar saya carikan yang berbeda itu kemarin yang mana, saya malah jadi lupa. Oke, satu persatu. Not significantly different. Hold on. Okay, now have a look at this one. We can assume that our data are homogeneous. Now have a look at the sig value here. Can you see any significant difference in the students' academic stress by their group? Kalau ini kan kelas A, B, C itu grup ya. Is there any significant difference?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How do you know that there is a significant difference?
Less than.
Okay, the sig value here is less than 0.05. Then yes, there is a significant difference. Yay, kita nemukan finally ada yang berbeda di situ. Tapi kita tidak tahu, kan belum tahu sekarang. Kan antara kelas A, B, dan C. Grup itu tadi ya. Nah, kalau kelas A, B, dan C mana yang berbeda? Is it between AB, AC, or BC? Kalau dari sini kan kelihatan perbedaannya, but we don't know mana yang signifikan, mana yang tidak signifikan. Now, how do we know it? How do we get such information? We go to the post hoc test. Nah, ini kalau Mas dan Mbak lihat, post hoc ini adalah perbandingan antara ini. Kelas A dengan kelas B, kelas A dengan kelas C, kelas B dengan A, B dengan C. Kalau ini hanya mengulang juga, seperti ini tadi. Nah, ini kan sebenarnya t-test ya. Kelas A dengan B kan t-test antara kelas A dengan B. Cara membacanya juga sama persis. Kita lihat sig value di sini. Nah, kalau Mas dan Mbak lihat dari sini, kira-kira mana yang berbeda secara signifikan, Mas dan Mbak? Apakah antara kelas AB, AC, atau BC?
AB.
AB. Is it between A and B? Is there any significant difference between students in students' academic stress between class A and class B?
Yes, sir.
Yes. How do you know ada perbedaan di situ?
Because it's
The
less than
Okay.
0.05.
Less than 0.05. What about AB berbeda? AC. What about A and C?
No significant.
How do you know that there is no significant difference?
It's more than 0.05.
Yang mana itu?
A and C.
A and C ini berarti ya. Berarti yang ini. Is it more than 0.05?
No, it's less than. Yes.
0,016 itu lebih kecil atau lebih besar dibandingkan dengan 0,05? Gampangnya nolnya dikurangi saja ya. Ini dikurangi, hilangkan. Ini dihilangkan. Tapi karena ini ada 2 digit, ini kita buat 2 digit. Jadi tambah 0 di belakangnya. Mana yang lebih besar, 16 or 50?
16.
50.
50.
50. Oke. So, ini lebih kecil atau lebih besar dari ini? Oh, sama ini jawabannya, Pak. Nah, kalau 16 lebih kecil dari 50 ya. So this one, there is a significant difference in the students' academic stress by class A and class C. Kelas B dan A itu sama dengan A and B. Kalau B and C, is there any significant difference in the students' academic stress by class A and C? B and C.
No.
Tidak ada perbedaan yang signifikan ya.
Yeah.
Oke, ya, that is how to read it. Nah, kalau kita sekarang bertanya tadi, kelas A dan B ada perbedaan yang signifikan. Siapa yang lebih tinggi skornya? Is it class A or class B? Kita lihatnya dari deskriptifnya. Is it class A or class B?
Class A.
Class A has got higher academic stress or reported higher academic stress than class B. Class A juga reported higher academic stress than class C. Ya kan kelihatan ya di sini ya. Nah, itu caranya membacanya. Sampai cara membaca dulu. Do you have any questions, Mas dan Mbak?
Minnya berarti lebih besar.
Yes? Any questions?
Sorry, sir.
Yes, please, Anita.
To describe the result of the test, so we have to describe one by one, yes, sir. Jadi dideskripsikan satu-satu.
Iya, jadi nanti contohnya ada di sini. Kalau tadi ya, there was a significant difference in the students bla bla bla, ini ya. A two-key post-hoc test revealed that the students scores itu significantly different antara berapa dan berapa. Nanti ada contohnya di sini, Mas dan Mbak. How to report ANOVA. Nah, angka apa? Warna pink goes with the pink. Red goes with the red. Green goes with the green. Yellow goes with the yellow. Itu ya. Kemudian kalau tukinya tadi sudah oke, cara membaca tuki, selanjutnya adalah cara membaca, melaporkan hasil tukinya seperti ini. Kalau kita lihat umur 17-18 lebih tinggi dari umur misalnya 13-14. Ada di sini. Maka melaporkannya seperti ini. Students at the age of 17 and 18 reported higher scores in school math. Min-nya ditulis, standard deviation-nya ditulis compared to those at the age of bla bla bla. And those at the age of bla bla bla. Kalau tadi misalnya ini ya, ini itu hasil analisis school math untuk by age. Kita lihat di sini, school math itu ada di sini, by age categorical itu yang ini. Kita coba lihat. Nah, ini significant value-nya tadi sama enggak dengan yang di sini ya? Sama ya? Sama kan? 0,13, di sini juga 0,13. Tukinya juga kelihatan antara umur berapa yang berbeda. Umur 13 dan 14 berbeda tidak? 13, 14 dengan 15, 16 berbeda tidak?
No, sir.
No. 13, 14 dengan 17, 18 berbeda tidak?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
15, 16 dengan 17, 18 berbeda tidak? Yes,
Yes,
ya.
sir.
Nah, tapi siapa yang kan kita jadi tahu sekarang. 17 itu berbeda dengan 13, 14 dan 15, 16. Yang kita laporkan seperti itu. Tapi kita tahu yang lebih tinggi yang mana itu nanti dari yang ini. Dari ini. Sorry, dari ini. Nah, tinggal dilaporkan di sini. Pak, kalau tidak ada perbedaan ya tinggal di sini. No other significant differences were found in students' high school math scores by their age. Nah, ini sudah lengkap Mas dan Mbak. Contoh ini sudah saya berikan. Did you receive this file? ANOVA how to report?
Yes, Pak.
Yes. Nah, silahkan dicerna terlebih dahulu. I'll give you 10 minutes to digest it. And if you have any questions, silahkan. But if you don't have any questions, nanti tak kasih quiz.
May I, Bapak?
Yes, please.
If you want to enter the dependent list, if there's 4 dependent list, like for example, like probably reading, math, science, and then what is it? English, for example, and then the factor only 1. Can we make it become 1, Pak? Like independent list,
Oh yeah.
not 1 by 1.
I told you just now that we can only run one dependent variable in ANOVA. Nanti karena kalau kita running 5 dependent variable sekaligus, itu artinya melakukan 5 kali pengukuran. Nanti errornya juga lebih tinggi. Nah, nanti ada cara lain yaitu MANOVA. Karena harus dilihat yang lain juga. Dilihat apakah kelima skor itu homogen atau tidak. Karena kan kita ini hanya melihat apakah satu skor itu homogen untuk 3 variabel, untuk 3 kelompok kan. Kita belum melihat 5 skor itu apakah homogen untuk 3 faktor itu karena matriksnya berbeda. So we cannot do it. We can only have one or a single dependent variable there. Meskipun hasilnya nanti tidak akan berbeda jauh, namun errornya yang lebih tinggi. Hasilnya mungkin bahkan bisa sama persis, tapi errornya dia jadi lebih tinggi.
Oh, jadi kita carikan satu-satu ya Pak, misalnya dependent variabelnya reading, terus faktornya apa gitu. Nanti kita cari yang reading dulu, terus science, math, baru nanti English begitu ya?
Iya.
Oh ya, terima kasih Bapak.
Oke. Sebentar ya, sambil nunggu ya. Any other questions, Mas dan Mbak? Belum ada. Kalau belum ada, yay. If you don't have any questions, I'll send you something. Kelasmu tadi mana tadi? Saya bingung nyari kelasnya taruh mana tadi. Data analysis. Okay, I sent you an invitation to join Google Classroom. Kindly click on it. Click it. Sebentar, saya kirim satu data lagi. ANOVA. Small sample visa for ANOVA kalau tidak salah ya. Small sample visa data 2019. Oke, sudah terbuka semua? Small sample visa data. Ini yang sudah gabung baru. Silahkan gabung dulu ya Mas dan Mbak supaya bisa akses soalnya ya. Baru 6 yang gabung. Halo, jangan-jangan kita ini ditinggal masak atau naik ojek ini? Yang lain nggak pada.
Enggak, Pak. Pak, bentar, Pak, lagi loading.
Oh, ini apa
Lagi
gabung
loading,
dulu,
Pak.
gabung dulu ke Google Classroom-nya.
Ganti
Kirain
akun,
ditinggal
Pak.
masak tadi.
Kan kita biasanya pakai Gmail ini kan ganti ke akun UNY-nya Pak. Agak kelamaan gitu Pak.
Berarti kelihatan kalau lama nggak dipakai akun UNY-nya itu. Itu akun UNY ACID itu kalau digunakan lumayan sakti loh. Kalau untuk ngelamar beasiswa, kalau ada ACID itu lebih apa namanya, ada itunya. Oke, saya tunggu dulu ya. Sebentar saya itu. Jam berapa tuh? 9.30. Oke, masih cukup waktu. Karena nanti tidak ada yang nanya, tak kasih kuis itu saja. Kita tunggu dulu ya, karena baru 6. Baru Aulia, Dian, Oktaviani, Prativi, Sofyan, sama Sujidin. Nah ini sebentar, jangan-jangan saya log out ya. Oke, ya sudah. Di situ Mas dan Mbak, you can find your classwork. So what you need to do is this one. Use the small sample PISA data 2009. Write your hypothesis. Find if there is any significant difference in students' reading score by country, math score by country, science score by country. Write the report. So here in this small sample PISA 2009 data, you can find country here. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, you have 5 or something different countries there. Kemudian you also have by the end of the file, you have 3 different variables here. Reading, math, and science. It should be science. Sorry, bukan science, tapi science. Has everyone got this file? Sudah
Yes,
semua?
Pak.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Sudah
sir.
semua ya. Now what you need to do sesuai dengan yang ada di instruksi ini, use small sample PISA, write your hypothesis untuk 3 ini. Sorry. 3 ini ya. Reading scores by country, math score by country, science score by country. So you are going to have 3 different ANOVAs. You are going to have 3 different null hypotheses and 3 different alternative hypotheses. You get it?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
bahkan jika ada yang ingin ditanyakan terlebih dahulu, itu kan caranya sudah, konsep dasarnya sudah, caranya sudah, cara bacanya sudah, cara ngelaporkannya sudah ada. What you need to do is just to change the name of the variables and the numbers there. Sudah berhasil. Okay, now if you have any questions, silahkan. Kalau tidak, it will be your quiz. And waktunya kira-kira berapa menit? 5 menit selesai?
Oh, aduh.
Waduh, belum ya. 10 menit.
10 minutes, sir.
Ya sudah, saya berikan waktu sampai pukul 12 ya.
Oke, sir.
Set,
Night, sir? Or
yeah? No. This 12 o'clock. I mean jam 12 siang ini.
Oke.
Oke,
Hari
sir. Thank you.
tanggal 11, waktunya 12.00. Cukup ya? Safe. Oke, silahkan ditanyakan dulu sebelum kelas diakhiri dan sisa waktunya untuk mengerjakan kuis. Ini Mbak Ifti ini enggak capek dari tadi Mbak, berkedip dia. Oh, gambar itu ternyata. Yuk, if you have any questions, kalau belum saya cek presensi, kemudian kita akhiri kelasnya. Oke, ya. There you go. Mbak Aulia Rahmatika,
Yes, sir.
Mbak Deliska,
Iya, Bapak.
Mas Sofyan,
Yes, Bapak.
Mbak Dwi Pristiawati,
Present, sir.
Mbak Dian Islami, Istia Oktaviani,
Yes, sir.
Muhammad Muhli Zardi.
Sakit, Pak.
Oke. Semoga lekas sembuh Mbak Nur Aziza Istia Uswatun,
Yes, sir.
Pratiwi Istia Ratih,
Present, sir.
Mbak Askardia Istia Miftahul,
Yes, sir.
Amin. Amin Said Harahap. Hadir ya. Arnita Ister Nurul Hafizah.
Yes, sir.
Yeni.
Present, sir.
Aulia.
Yes, sir.
Dede Dharma Dimiar Nurasiah.
Sir.
Masih kok banyak yang sakit ya, hati-hati ya. Semoga lekas sembuh. Tadi yang sakit Mbak Nurasiah ya?
Iya, Pak. Muklis Izadi Islam itu, Pak.
Oke, Rifat.
Yes, sir.
Suci.
Yes, sir.
Ifti.
Hadir, Bapak.
Fitri.
Yes, sir.
Queen. Queen?
Yes, Pak.
Oke, SK nanti? SK nanti?
Pak. Iya.
Yudo is there. Okay. Thank you. Sio, berarti tidak ada pertanyaan ya? Okay. If you don't have any questions, Mas dan Mbak, you do have another 3 hours to work on your first quiz. Nah, nanti kita ada sekitar mungkin 3 atau 4 quiz untuk kelas ini. Jadi lumayan. Karena kalau saya harus ngomong terus, ternyata kalau ngajar saya hari Selasa itu ngajar 4 kelas statistik. Karena tidak ada presentasi dari mahasiswa, saya harus ngomong. Ternyata 5 minggu pertama itu berakhir dengan serak terus, sakit tenggorokannya. Then I try to figure out apa ya yang salah kok beda dari tahun sebelumnya. Ternyata saya lupa belum ngasih quiz. That's why I'm going to give you quizzes. Jadi enak nanti ngajarnya. Oke, kalau belum ada pertanyaan, stay safe and healthy everyone. Insya Allah I will see you next week. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay,
Terima
bye. Thank
kasih,
you.
Bapak.
Bye. Saya end meetingnya ya. Remind me to send you the recording. Thank you. Bye.